So I'd like to go over a topic with you which is a bit sophisticated in how you need to handle it. And this is crises, dealing with crises, coping with crises. Now, here's the idea. When something goes wrong, you need to be composed about whatever has gone wrong. And this is against your nature as a human. Human being is not naturally brave, right? If a crisis happens, your usual instinct is to panic. But realize that empires are built on perception. And it must not be perceived that something is going wrong. When you think about your local bank, whatever that is, should it be Standard Bank, ZB, so on and so forth. There are people who pay attention to the public relations element, and this is the empire building element. Public perception. So managing perception is actually the world conquering part of any business. It's the world conquering part of you. How do people see you? I was watching a show called Game of Thrones the other day, and there was a riddle that was said by one of the cast to another member. He said, well, I'll just share with you the point of the quote. I can't remember the riddle, I'm not going to try. But the point of the quote was, power resides where people believe it resides. Yeah? And that's how you can have presidency, that's how you can have kingdom, that's how you can, it's actual perception, right? Perception can make you have the entire world. If Elon Musk came up to you and said, borrow me $2,000, right? If you never are going to get back that $2,000, you are still going to give it to him because you have a particular perception about him. Of course, like if you're super worried about money, this doesn't count necessarily, but for a normal person, you'd feel more free to give it to him than you would to someone that you don't know. The perception helps. And what this has to do with crises and when you're having trouble is you must not let it out that you're having trouble to someone who cannot help you or someone who will use it wrongly, if that makes sense. So it is not public information that you are having trouble. It is your information that you're having trouble. And should there be a crisis within Standard Bank, you bet I'm not going to know about it. Why is that? Because what you're doing is you're forming a perception. You're forming a perception of consistency, forming a perception of reliability, forming a perception of stability, right? What will happen is you'll go through the crisis and come out the other side. And if the customer never got to experience the crisis, then you win. You don't spout out crises as they happen because you'll damage yourself by spouting it out. It makes a new problem to talk about the problem to the wrong person, right, or to the public. Like there's no way a problem sent out into the public domain is a good thing. There can be a specific person that you say, okay, cool. If you've got your consultant who literally has his job be to stabilize your business, sure, you could tell him, right? Or you could tell your mom, or you could tell someone. But you shouldn't tell everyone, right? Because what you're doing is you're coping, and then you're also creating future. Realize that you lose future if you lose perception, right? If you have a crisis that comes out publicly, you lose future from it. So try not to create another problem from your problem. Do not have now something spawn in which wasn't there because you have to radiate your problem. Keep your problem to yourself. Continue to show the good things, because there are good things, and make your good works well known. And in essence, the message that I'm trying to give to you today is prioritize perception management. Do not panic in crises. Survive them, and do not let that reach your customer, and do not let that reach your public. Because the true death of a company, true death of an organization, the true death of a person is when they lose perception. If someone sees you badly, if the whole world sees you badly, it could be the death of you. That's the idea.